Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So before I start the video, I would like to apologize. There's going to be a lot of disturbance in the video. There's going to be a lot of background sound because of the fireworks. I thought of doing a voiceover, but it's going to be the same thing because by evening the fireworks are going to be even more and it's going to be a lot of disturbance. So I thought I will finish up the video now, and this is going to last for another 2 to 3 days. So you will be hearing a little bit of this sound in the background. So let's start off with this video. Now this video, I wanted to make this video from a very long time, but unfortunately I did not have all the 3 varieties in the same frame. But today because I have these, so I thought it's going to be much easier to make this video. Now over here I have 3 different varieties of succulents, but they tend to look all the same. I will be putting up the names one by one. This, as we all know, are called as our Moonstones, the Pachophytum oviferum. These are the lavender pebbles. I'll put up the name, the actual botanical name on the screen, commonly called as lavender pebbles. And these are the Graptovaria variety, which is the avian grade. Again, I'll put up the name on the screen because I don't think I'm pronouncing that correct. Now, the funny part is because the names are a little bit difficult to pronounce and to write the names as well. So a lot of times the nursery people or the sellers will label them with the most easiest name. Now these are called as red moonstones. These are called as the pink moonstones, and these are called as the blue moonstone. Now let me burst the bubble. There is only one type of moonstone, which is our Pachophytum. They are called the moonstones because they have this grayish blue tone to it and resembles a lot like the moonstone. I'm not very sure, I haven't seen an actual moonstone, but this is what is the actual moonstone succulent that we are very well aware about. Now what are the rest two? These are not called as the pink moonstone or the red moonstone. They have their individual names, but to simplify this, it is called as lavender pebbles. Lavender pebbles is the correct name. This one is not called as the red moonstone. They do get very red as in when they start getting a full morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. These will get even more pink, and this, as you all know, it looks like this when it gets a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Now both of these varieties are from the Graptovaria. This one is from the Pachophytum genus. So they are from a different genus. And as I said, there is only one moonstone, which is the Pachophytum. The other two are not the moonstones or are not related with the genus of moonstone. They are from the Graptovarias. So that's why they get that beautiful color. Now the care for all 3 of them remains the same when it comes in terms of sunlight. After acclimating it, give it a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Only then they will look absolutely beautiful. If you're going to keep them in less light or if you're going to keep them in shade, the colors will go off and they will start to stretch. They require a good amount of, or I would say a good generous amount of light. If you're offering them indirect bright light, ensure that the intensity of indirect bright light is very good. Anything above 3000 lux is going to work out really well. Or you can offer morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Watering, it remains the same. All of them are chubby succulents. This one is a little bit dehydrated at this point of time. I have to water it, but it becomes very chubby. So the watering requirement is a little bit less, or I would say less frequent as compared to our thin-leaved succulents. These are very plump succulents. They can store a lot of water. So whenever your soil is completely bone dry, you can wait another couple of days. Again, this all depends upon your environment and climate. All the 3 varieties are in their growing period during the winters. They are all summer dormant succulents. So if you are a person who adds fertilizer, you can do it right now. If you're planning to do propagation, you can do it right now. They can easily get propagated via leaves, stem cutting, separating of the offsets. All of these methods tend to work out really well. As always, leaf propagation is going to take a very long time. Beheading, stem cutting, separating of the offsets is a little bit faster form of propagation. Watering, I leave it up to you. It's your individual call because everyone is from a very different environment. The amount of sunlight, the growing conditions, whether indoor, outdoor, the type of soil mix, the type of pot, all these factors play a very important role. So watering is something I leave it completely up to you. You have to do the checking and water accordingly. For me, during winters, because of my soil mix, because of the type of pots that I have, and because I offer them a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, I water them once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks during the winters, and it changes completely during summers. So this is something that you have to check. Mealybugs, I haven't seen much attack on these plants because again my soil is very lean in nutrients. I have a very sandy soil. I don't have a lot of issues with mealybugs. Almost 90 to 95%, or I would say 96 to 97% of my plants are not infected or infested with any kind of fungus, mold or mealybugs. Thankfully, I don't have that issue. I don't have to be worried about that. So that is a very good thing for me. The soil mix that I tend to use is a mix of aquarium sand 80% and 20% of filtered garden soil. It is super porous, loose, well draining and lean in nutrients. Tends to dry within 3 days. So that works out really well for me. Overall, it is a very easy to grow plant. It's not a very tricky plant. But for people who are from a very high humid environment, probably you might have issues with this plant because as I said, they tend to store a lot of water in the leaves. They don't require a lot of water. So if you're a person who tends to add water very frequently, then this is one of the succulent will start getting issues if you're going to overwater them. Now, because this variety of succulents have plump leaves, they have a lot of capacity to store water. So these are the succulents that require the least of watering. So always keep a check on that. Apart from that, it's a very easy succulent. If you are a beginner, you can definitely add it in your collection. As I said, don't go with the wrong names. Red moonstone, pink moonstone doesn't exist. It's only one moonstone, that is the pachyphytum. Rest of them have their botanical names which I've put up on the screen. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.